Good afternoon, guys. So, as the title says, I'm going to get the car checked out right now for paint and see how much this is going to cost me. I'm assuming this isn't going to be very cheap. Let me put my shoes on here. I got to take the Supra over to him. He wants to do an estimate on the vehicle, but I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. Like, I want to get it fully painted, but at the same time, I almost might just fix a few things for right now. I didn't really want to dish out the X amount of money for it right now. The car's going to be getting ceramic coating and all that stuff. The paint is okay in some areas, but I want to go to him, see what he thinks, and get an actual quote, and then go over with you guys exactly what it's going to cost to do this. I feel like this will help a lot of you out, just like it's going to help me out a ton. So let me go up here and I'll go ahead and close the hood real quick. That's one thing I'm worried about though, getting it painted, is I don't want them to mess all this up. This looks beautiful right now. Yes, I'm going to get it detailed, but I always hate when I get my car back from a paint shop. Like, no matter how much they clean it, it's never perfect, and it just bugs me. I always have to spend hours upon hours cleaning it up afterwards, interior-wise. God, those hood shocks are... Yeah, you got to press it twice with a Supra. If you didn't know, Mark IV Supras, we have dual hood latches on it. I don't know why, I guess for the hood coming up, I don't know. But anyways, so let's go ahead and get in the car here, see if she starts right up. It's been a couple days since I've started her. Actually, it's probably been since Jack was here, Duramax Jack was here. I think that was the last time I actually started it, so it might be a little cranky. Let me prime it real quick. Yeah, it's taking a skinny minute. There it goes. Ooh, falling down. There we go. We good. All right, let's go ahead and drive over there real quick, and I'll talk to you guys along the way. All right, driving along here real quick. I'm gonna try out a couple body shops. This is just gonna be the first one I go to. There's one shop in particular here in my little town called Raulsville Auto Body. Raulsville, God, I can never say that right. I've lived here my entire life and I can't say that. Raulsville Auto Body, owned by a gentleman named Tim Snively. He actually painted my cars a couple years ago. I shouldn't say a couple years ago, it's been many years now. I had a Celica that had been wrecked multiple times, and every time he painted it, the paint was flawless. I remember driving it all winter and not getting one stone chip, one issue in the paint. And I was driving up to Harrisburg every single day, all through winter. We put cinders down the road here, which is pretty much little rocks, and I never got a single nick in the paint. Never had a paint that was that good, that protective, that well done. So I'm hoping I can get something that nice done again here. So let's go ahead and pop over there and I can record some more, because it's really hard to talk to this thing and shift. All right, guys, so I just got back from the body shop, and I'm actually a little surprised in the cost of it all. Now, this always does range depending on your area, and I'm not saying this is what it could be across the U.S. You know, where I live is very cheap. When I mean very cheap, you know, you can buy acres of land for, good God, next to nothing here. I'm in farm country. You know, I live in a very, very small town. There's only a couple people in it. I shouldn't say a couple, but, you know, less than 10,000 people in my town. It's definitely a country town, definitely a farm town. The quote I got originally here from the first place is $5,000 to do everything. Now, that doesn't include seals or anything of that nature. That is just to paint the car. That's to take it down to the bare metal and paint everything. That's to do the jams, everything you see under the hood. The only thing, and I'm saying this, the only thing they are not going to paint is the actual physical engine bay. And I'm kind of glad in a way, because I'm still not done with that area yet. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. I don't want to be in there working, banging on things. I don't want to ruin it. And to be honest, unlike the exterior of the car, that doesn't have to completely match the exterior. My one biggest worry right now is I want all of it to match. With silver, that's always the biggest issue. Silver is known to fade, and it's always damn near impossible to match. Every shop I've gone to say it's not really plausible. I haven't been to a body shop yet that's been like, oh yeah, that's not gonna be a problem. Every single one of them said, yep, silver. You can paint those pieces, you can fix this or that, but to do it right, you gotta spray the whole thing, bud. And I'm like, ugh. You know, that's part of the game. I get it. You know, I love the car to death. I love everything about this thing, but it's a lot of money, bro. I mean, I did pretty much what I was told was going to cost me $10,000. You know, that's including new seals, target top, all that stuff, new fender liners, all that good stuff. This is just to paint the car. It's going to be $5,000. That's door jams under the hood, in the trunk area, the seal around the trunk area. That's removing all the doors off the car, removing the fenders, removing the bumpers off the car, removing the hood. That's doing everything, trying to give you guys as much information as possible here. It's pulling the glass out too. He said about doing the rope trick if I wanted to save some money, and I said rather him pull the glass, and that's where he said, okay, for that, to do everything, we're looking at $5,000 to be safe. I said, okay, he said, but I'll yank all the glass, I'll do everything right. He said there's a couple panels you probably won't have to take down to bare metal. He said, but for the most part, and he said if I take it all, he's like, I'll most likely just strip the rest, just so it's 100%. And he said if there's any dents, I'll just pull them out. I guess he can weld to it. I was gonna have PDR done before. He said, if you want it done, he said, I'll just weld to it, pull them out. It'll have a little bit, a tiny bit of filler in it. He said, but nothing too crazy. I'm okay with that. You know, it could be a lot worse for this car. Sorry guys, I had to change the area where I was at because the sun's going down now. It's getting a little too dark to stand out there. But that gives you the basic rundown of what it's going to cost to get this car done. It's more than I really want to spend. I know $5,000 is actually very, very, very cheap to do a proper paint job. I know a lot of people say $10,000 is usually the average for something like this. I feel fortunate that it's less just because of the area I live in. It could be a lot worse for myself. But that's doing everything. Now, you know, I'm talking about spraying the underside of the hood, all the door jambs, the trunk area, and some other areas also. One thing I wanted to make sure of is that most of the panels are stripped clean. What I mean by that is it's down to the bare metal because there's dents, dings, and so forth, and I want them pulled out. I don't want them to be bondoed. If you guys know what bondo is, it's like a filler of some sorts. And I don't want that happening. Now, I've actually asked, every time I go to these shops, I'm asking, you know, should I do PDR before? Should I have it just professionally removed, pulled out? They're saying if they take it down to the metal, they can weld to it and then yank it out that way. Not sure how that works. Maybe you guys can give me some insight on that. So they're saying I can do it that way, which would make it a little bit easier. I just want to make sure it's done and I don't have to keep going back. The car's had multiple paint jobs on it, or half-ass jobs, I'll say. I shouldn't say it that way, but the car was wrecked years ago. The back half from the target top back, or the sport roof as you're supposed to call it back, was repainted, has a new bumper and all that stuff on it. The front half of the car, the front bumper, is a brand new 97, 98 front bumper. The head painting was done very poorly, wasn't done to my standards. And the rest of the car looked like it at one time had a Mako paint job. It's really full of orange peel. It's flaking off already, and I'm just completely over it, and I'm so unhappy with it that I want to make sure going forward that if I'm going to get a professional coating done, or professional cut and buff, that's going to cost me thousands of dollars also. You know, I don't want to be wasting time and effort on that, on a paint that is gone. You know, the door handles themselves, people say, well, you can cut and buff it, that, you know, it'll be fine. The door handles are down to the black plastic. Like, there's no paint left. There's no primer, nothing. Like, from me touching it, or not me, it was like before I bought it, it was literally just rubbed down to bare paint, and it's ruined. So I want it to be perfect. I want it to be all taken apart, sprayed properly, buffed out, taken care of. And then once it gets taken to the detail shop, they will make sure all the black parts of the car, so all the black plastics, are sealed and look perfect, and the car just looks pretty and looks full when it's done. That's what I'm looking for. Now, the only issue is with you guys, you're going to be without the Supra for 3 to 4 weeks. I hope you guys don't hate me for that, because, you know, being without the Supra for that long, that's my channel. You know, I have the MR2, but being without the Supra for that many weeks, are you guys going to be okay with that, is my biggest worry. I won't be driving it or, you know, reviewing it in any way. I'll be mainly focused on the MR2 at that time, and hopefully you guys will be okay with all that. Oh, God. So, yeah, guys, that's it. Basic, end of story. Yeah, and if you're new to the channel, this is my garage setup once again. I love, like, tools, and I love watching TV while I'm working on my car. It's kind of like my thing. I'm always listening to music or watching a TV show of some sort while I'm working on the car. Kind of like, this was my dream. I came from a townhouse to this, but that's kind of irrelevant to this. But yeah, so that gives you guys a basic breakdown of what it's going to cost to do something of this nature. I hope this helps you guys in some sorts of the way. I think it's cheap still. I'm like very fortunate that I live in a very, very, very cheap area. Most likely in your area, it's going to cost you around $10,000. That's what I've been told. But once again, that's no seals for me, no nothing. That's just them doing the body work. If I want to provide new seals, new emblems, all that kind of stuff, I've got to dish that out of my pocket. Which doing target top seals, door seals, for the wing, new emblems, I'm probably looking at $3,500 alone right there. Going to be a boatload of money, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. All right, guys, thank you very much as usual. Do me a favor, go down below, check out my Facebook and Instagram. I'm always posting stuff on there way ahead of times. I'm a big Instagram person. Like, I love using that. So go check it out. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.